Well, we have three automakers we're working with now. Two of them are two of the top 10 automakers. Stellantis, we've been able to name. The other one we have not yet. We've added this third global automaker, but we're also working with quite a few very large industrial companies, Forbes Global 500 companies that are focused on evaluating our technology for use in things like solid state circuit breakers for industry and or for utility applications.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Ideal Power CEO Daniel Brdar. Dan, very good to speak with you. You're off your third quarter financials this week, and it looks like you continue to build momentum over the quarter. Take us through some of the highlights.
Sure, we've done a couple of things really about moving forward with getting customers engaged with our products. We now have a third global automaker who is evaluating our products. This customer is looking to use it for contactors in electric vehicles. We added two distributors, so we have global reach in terms of getting our products out to end customers. We added a company called Ryosho out of Japan, who's got great relationships with industrial companies in Japan, including the automobile industry, and another one called Zekorm, who's also in Asia, really focused primarily on China, which is actually one of the largest markets for power semiconductor use. We've got orders now coming in from some of the tier one auto suppliers. We have a tier one supplier that in the quarter ordered a whole variety of products for us as they're looking at how they might use B-TRAN for inverters and EVs, contactors, and so forth. And we began our automotive qualification testing. It's a very rigorous set of tests and codes and standards that need to be met for the automobile industry. And that process has begun, and so far it's going very well.
You do say in the results that you continued your execution of the B-TRAN commercial roadmap. Take us through that roadmap and where it's leading you to, Dan.
Yeah, we spent the last couple of years really figuring out how to make the device because it is a unique double-sided process, and semiconductor wafers are typically only processed on one side. We have figured that out now. We've qualified two fabs to make it for us, one in Asia and one in Europe. And then we have to get a packaging design so you can connect the device up for electrical connections. So we've come through all that. And now it's about getting product in people's hands so that they can evaluate it. Semiconductor adoption is a relatively slow process, but the engineers that make OEM products like power converters for solar or make electric vehicles or energy storage systems, they need to go into their labs. They need to test those devices, understand how they work, and then go through a design process where they design it into their OEM products to take advantage of what it can do.
So, Dan, you talked about the collaboration with a third global automaker and recently secured initial orders from a global tier one automotive supplier. And you also mentioned regular meetings with Stellantis. And of course, that's a name that everybody will recognize.
Yeah.
What's the pipeline looking like as you continue these discussions?
Yeah, we have three automakers we're working with now. Two of them are two of the top 10 automakers. Stellantis, we've been able to name. The other one we have not yet. We've added this third global automaker, but we're also working with quite a few very large industrial companies, Forbes Global 500 companies that are focused on evaluating our technology for use in things like solid state circuit breakers for industry and or for utility applications. Customers that are looking to use our technology for things like motor drives, for power converters, for solar or energy storage. We've really been focusing on attracting the large companies that over the long run can drive very large volume and really trying to get product in their hands so that their engineers can build the case internally about why it's worth them doing a new product design incorporating our technology.
Dan, it's not just the third quarter where you saw significant traction. Year to date, there has been strong traction. How does this take you into the fourth quarter of the year?
Yeah, right now we're in the process. We're really looking to get some of these companies that we've been working with through the year into a design win, where we are actually now selected to be designed into their next generation product, because several of them have had products for quite a while. They work closely with our technical teams to understand the technology and its benefits. So it's really now getting them over that last step of getting to the design win so that they can actually start to incorporate our product into theirs and then ultimately drive volume for us later in 2025.
You ended the period with cash and cash equivalents of 18.7 million. So a strong cash runway as you do progress.
Yeah, we have plenty of cash to go execute our plan. We're going to burn a little over 8 million this year. So we're well positioned. We have no debt on the balance sheet. It's a very clean balance sheet, and it gives us the ability to actually come to these larger companies and be viewed as a potentially a strong supplier, because we are not in a situation where we're going to need to look to them to provide cash for us to get through any programs they may select us for.
Well, Dan, I hope you'll keep us updated on any additional progress. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
My pleasure.
That's Ideal Power CEO Daniel Brdar.